So unless you are very unlucky and you've experienced something highly limiting in your life, your results are a direct reflection of who you genuinely believe you are, not just in your mind, but also in your body, who your nervous system believes you are. Okay? So, thoughts create feelings. Feelings drive behaviors. Behaviors determine outcomes. Thoughts create feelings. Feelings drive behaviors. Behaviors determine outcomes. This is really important to understand. You are who you believe you are, right? So let's say we've got someone who, we're going to use fitness again, someone who is in good enough health, right? They'd have no seriously restricting conditions, okay? They're, I don't know, let's say between 30 and 50. And they believe that, hey, I'm unfit. I've always been unfit. Well, that belief will create certain feelings towards exercise and nutrition. And those feelings will drive the outcomes, and it will drive them to either avoid doing those things. Because they have a negative feeling around them. They have a negative thought around it. Like, oh, that's not for people like me. I can't do that because maybe in the past when I tried it went wrong. So, your mind is a prediction machine. Anxiety and confidence are both predictors. So anxiety is, I predict it's going to go wrong. I believe it's going to go wrong. I'm visualizing say I go into a public speech. I'm visualizing that speech going wrong, and I'm thinking about it going wrong, and that creates bad feelings in my body, extreme, cortisol and adrenaline in my body, and then I do go wrong, and I do fall apart, because that's what I've been thinking about, and then I'm paralyzed by bad feelings. Now, confidence is the opposite. It's the same thing. You're predicting the future, but instead you're visualizing it going well. You're thinking about it going well. You're going to go, yeah, it's going to go really well. It's going to go amazingly. Oh, I've worked so hard on this speech, and I can't wait to share it with people because it's going to really help people. Like, I can't wait for the world to know about this because it's going to help so many people. And they visualize it going well, and then their body generates good feelings towards the thing, and the feelings influence the behavior, and then the behavior influences the outcome. And as a result of that, I give a really good speech because I think positively about it. I visualize it going well. I anticipate that it will go well, and therefore when I get on stage, I feel amazing. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And then the crowd are like, woo, yeah. Whereas if I'm worried I'm going to get it wrong, those thoughts will turn into feelings, and those feelings will drive my outcome, and then I will get it wrong. So your life and your results and your outcomes largely are what you believe to be true about yourself. I know that can be uncomfortable. And there are probably many things that were outside of your control. Things that happened to you that are not your fault. That if you can address those things and deal with those things and change the way you think about yourself now, then the world is yours. So your inner world creates your outer world. As above, so below. Okay? So if your inner world isn't aligned with something, your outer world won't match it. And if it does, you won't keep it for long. Let's look at the example of finances, right? We all have within us a financial thermostat, and that is the place where we used to being, the safe zone that we've been in for the longest. Now, if the story that you tell about yourself is that I'm always broke, or I'm always struggling to make money, that will continue to happen until you start telling a different story and feeling different feelings when you talk about the different story, okay? And connecting to the feeling of abundance, okay? So if that's what you believe, even though that may have been what's happened to you all your life, and that may have been something you watched with your parents or whatever, you may have very compelling evidence to believe that that's true, but that then creates your financial thermostat, which will then kick in. If you were to make the money that you wanted, it would then kick in and pull you back to the levels where you believe you are. So some people, their thermostat is set to hundreds, some people thousands, some people millions, some people minus hundreds, okay? Let's use a good example, Donald Trump. A very good example of financial success. Now, I don't care what you think about him. I don't want to hear it. High vibes only over here, okay? But the fact is, his financial thermostat is set for the billions. He has lost it multiple times and earned it back every single time. Now, that is not an easy thing to do. To make billions, to lose it, and then to get it back, that is seriously difficult. So obviously, it's not luck with him. His financial thermostat is set for the billions, and so the moment he drops below the billions, the thermostat kicks in, boom, up to billions again. You can take away all his money, give him a couple of months or a year, this time next year, he'll have it back. He'll have found some way to become a billionaire again, okay? And so the opposite of that is the lottery winners. Often, lottery winners, their financial thermostat is set low, is set often to be in debt, okay? And so they might win that 20 million jackpot, but then within 5 years, they've lost it all. Their thermostat has kicked in and brought them back to where they feel that they should be, to what feels familiar, to what feels comfortable, to the story that they tell about themselves, to the belief that they have about who they are. Your inner world must match your outer world, because even if you get the thing, if you don't believe you deserve to have it, you will push it away or chase it away or make bad decisions that will cause you to lose it. So you've got to change your wiring. The good news is it's relatively easy to fix if you really want it, and if you do it every day, not just when it's convenient. And especially on the days when you really don't want to. Those are the days where you need it the most, and those are actually the days where it's going to raise your energy more. And that involves reprogramming your mindset towards the things that you want to change. So it's all very good saying I am wealthy, but then saying things like money is the root of all evil, rich people are evil, or I can't afford that. I can't afford that. That is bad programming. So instead of saying, I can't afford that, say, I can't afford that yet, or that's not in my current budget. That leaves space for my involvement, where it is in my budget. And it can be done. Yes, it can be done. I've actually made videos on exactly how to do that. The morning routine video tells you exactly how to do that. And so it's about building an identity, right? So my main job is guitar teaching. I'm also an alignment coach by helping people align themselves with what they want. But in my guitar teaching world, and of course I see it in my coaching business too, but I'll often get emails from people who have very limiting beliefs, and those people won't even turn up to the lesson. So they will send an email inquiry and it will not go beyond that point. So the common one I get is something to the effect of, do you teach people who are not musical at all, who know nothing about music? And so obviously the answer is yes, I do, but that belief itself, that belief of I know nothing about music, won't carry you. It won't even, it's not enough power in that belief to get you to your first lesson. The other common one I get is, I'm 43 years old, and
am I too old to start learning guitar? Nope. I've had students in their 70s who were very good guitarists. These clients have already written the story that they're too old. They've already, you know, their internal wiring is already, I can't do this. This isn't for me. And so, surprise, surprise, I never get anything beyond that first email. They don't even respond to my follow-up. They never make it to the first lesson. Okay. And then the people who tend to be successful clients, regardless of their age or their background or whatever, they just say, hey, I'm really keen to learn. Just bought a guitar and I'm really keen to learn. Like, what's your availability like? Those are the clients who come in and slay. What's important is it's about building an identity. So you don't just play the guitar. The goal is to become a musician. And what makes you a musician is not necessarily how good you are or whether you do it for a living or not. It's whether you see yourself as a musician or not. Okay, so if you participate in music on a regular basis, so you play a musical instrument every week, that makes you a musician. Okay? And so partly you have to say the affirmation every day, I am a musician, I love playing the guitar, or I am a musician and I love playing my guitar. You have to say that and feel the feelings that is aligned with, the feelings of joy and good energy when you say it. So you have to do that as a beginner. You have to cultivate the mindset of a musician, not somebody who plays music. Because when the going gets tough, which, newsflash, it will, when it's November and you have to take the bins out and it's freezing outside and you'd rather just lie in for a little bit longer than, you know, get up a bit earlier to play guitar or whatever it is, and you'd rather just watch Netflix, you're gonna quit if you're someone who plays a bit of guitar and it's not for the likes of me and, oh, I started too late in life and I'm not very musical, right? If that's your belief, that won't get you through the dark days. No, it won't. That, you know, you're not going to practice when it's no longer fun or convenient or exciting anymore, once the honeymoon period of learning the instrument has worn off. Because believe me, that can wear off very fast if you don't put in enough effort to maintain the charge, the excitement, and the progress. Okay? So you have to believe that I am a musician. I love playing the guitar. That's it. You build the identity of a musician. And part of it is saying it and feeling it and visualizing yourself playing nicely and enjoying yourself. But the other part of that is actually taking the actions that a musician would take. You know, you have to actually consistently take the actions to reinforce that belief. So the belief will push you through the tough times when it gets difficult to take the actions, but the actions will keep the belief alive. So it's not just the inner world, but you also got to match it with the outer world, right? And you have to just do that. Whether you want to or not, whether you believe you are or not, you've got to keep doing it till you build, you know, you've got to build a stack of evidence that also aligns with the belief as well.
And that stack of evidence is you just showing up and playing. That's it. It's you getting your guitar out the case and practicing even when you don't want to. That is what a musician does. Even if it is Mary Had a Little Lamb in the key of C. Doesn't matter. You're doing what very few other people have got the grit to do.
As people get a bit more intermediate, we have to now move on from, instead of just saying I'm a musician and I love playing guitar, it has to be more along the lines of, now when you've been in the game a little bit longer now and you've built up some skill, you're no longer a beginner, you're starting to get good and you want to push into the advanced ranks, you have to say it as though you're already there. Because if you say, what happens is students say things, they say some things like I will improve or I will get there. Now what message are you sending to the command center? So what message are you sending from the control center to the body? You're sending the commands of, let's do that some other day. So you're actually sending the command to not improve, to not get there. You have to believe that you're already there, and then you're sending the signal to do it now. Okay? So you have to say, if you've got a bit more experience of playing guitar, you have to say, I'm a musician, This is what I do, and I'm good at it. Now, if you want to add in another word to reinforce the good at it, you can do. Okay? I'm a musician. This is what I do, and I'm good at it. And again, you don't have to be a professional to say that, to feel that way. You don't have to be making money from it. You don't have to do anything. You just got to be showing up and putting in those reps. Okay? I'm a musician. This is what I do, and I'm good at it. And that will then push you from the intermediate ranks to the advanced ranks quite quickly. But you have to actually feel you're already there, because the body is responding to the commands. It's not responding to, oh, I will get there someday. No, because what you're telling your body is you're saying, I'm not there now, which means you are going to now self-sabotage today, and you're going to ignore my instructions, or you're going to overcomplicate my instructions and like go, oh, I found this other way where I do it 10 times harder because that makes me heroic. No, it doesn't. It means you've just sabotaged your success to align with your beliefs that you can't do it. So no, you have to have the belief right. You have to align to yourself to having it. Not I will get there one day. I am there already, and I'm so grateful now that I am an advanced musician. It has to be that kind of energy. I'm a musician. This is what I do, and I'm good at it. Look, it's putting a smile on my face. It's bringing energy into my body. That's the right thing, okay? Now, you might have to phrase it a little bit differently so it fits you and sits with you, but it has to be those kinds of words. It can't be I will get there one day, or I'm okay, or I'm gradually improving. No, I'm there now, okay? That's how you get from intermediate to advanced, okay? So let's talk about sports. The goal is not to become someone who plays sport. The goal is to become an athlete, to build the identity as an athlete, same way you would as a musician or an artist or anything else you're trying to become, by taking the actions, but by also feeling the feelings and saying the affirmations every day of, I am an athlete. I love playing whatever sport it is. Okay? Now, the thing about that is, if you don't develop the attitude of I am an athlete, when the going gets tough, you'll back out. Whereas if you are an athlete, you feel that you're an athlete and you're taking the actions of an athlete, you have built the mindset of an athlete, when the going gets tough, which it will, you will dig deep and you will push through and you will adapt, because that's what athletes do. So you've got to build the belief that you are an athlete from the very beginning, from the very first boxing class or football class or whatever it is that you do. From the very beginning, I am an athlete. I love doing this sport, okay? And so when those dark days come, or when the injuries come, you will go to physio if you get an injury. When training gets really hard and you plateau, you will run that extra mile, or you will do that extra rep, or you will get that extra hour sleep, or whatever it is. You will do what an athlete does, and you will dig deeper or change and adapt the program you're taking. You will take the actions that an athlete do, because that's who you are. So instead of, okay, the going gets tough, I back down because I'm someone who's not very athletic and I just did a bit of sport. No. My belief is I'm an athlete, therefore I will do what an athlete does. I will dig deeper. I will train harder. I will recover better, rest more, eat cleaner. Whatever it is that I've got to do, I will do it, because this is who I am and this is what I do, and I'm good at it. So within all aspects of life, we have a thermostat. You can be the guy who nearly gets the jobs that he wants and then fails at the last minute, says something silly in his interview, or doesn't quite get the resume right, whatever. And great, that will continue to happen until you change the belief, until you feel the feeling of, I already have my dream job. I'm so grateful for that job. It allows me to do this, and this. You don't even need to know what the job is. You just have to know roughly what it's going to make you feel. And then you connect yourself to those feelings, most likely love, peace and joy. I have a great work-life balance. I get to spend amazing time with my friends and family. I'm so grateful for my amazing job, okay? You have to already feel that you've already got it, whatever it is, because if you don't, you will chase it away when the time comes, or the pressure will be too much. If you believe that it's outside of you and that it's not for people like you, if your inner world does not match your outer world, you will never attain it. But again, we work on the inner and the outer at the same time. We don't just stand there saying positive affirmations and flooding ourselves with good energy. We also then step out into the world and make waves.